Hello, hello. Super Dave back here today. I am going to do the third video. It's going to be on the journal. I made some really great progress, some real interesting discoveries today, but I want to tell you a quick story about bankers and finance. And if you rehab houses or you're involved in a project where you got to go get money maybe more than once from the bank, from the same banker to do a project, right? Well, I know it's a big warehouse my dad was building, and it's a couple $100,000, probably over budget. And banks are already in pretty deep, and we were going to the bank to get, some emergency funds. This is probably 40 years ago, to get $50,000. Dad had to have it. The banks already financed more than they wanted to finance, and it's kind of spun out of control. But, it's got to get finished, right? Everybody knows that. And on the way to the bank, I got a kick out of my father. He said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine." He says, "I got the bank, and I got the banker right where I want him." I said, "I thought we were over budget and everything was a nightmare." I'm like 14 or 13. And he says, "Oh, yeah, that's all true." He says, "But it's a beautiful thing." And I go, "What's that?" He says, "I've got that banker and the bank in a position to where they're so far deep into it. When I ask for more money, they're afraid to say no. They've got to go ahead and fund it. If they've got 500 grand into it and all you need is another 50 to finish it, or the whole thing blows up and doesn't get done, then it's worth nothing. And they already got $500,000 invested." He goes, "I got it. You got them right where you want them when you ask for more money and they're afraid to say no." Well, the funny story is that I had a project like that about 12 years ago, and I'll give you a piece of advice. Although that all is true, that may be very well true, don't ever, ever, ever say that to your banker. I made that mistake one day. He goes, "What are you trying to do? I can't understand." He's all freaking out. And I just said, "I just figured I'd get you so far deep into the project, when I ask for more money, you'd be afraid to say no." Throws me out of his office, right? Project still got to get done. I call him up 4 weeks later, go back in there and apologize. And he says, "That might have been true, but you don't have to rub my nose in it." So, piece of advice is, just keep that in mind. Get them in deep enough to where they're afraid to say no when you want more money. Is one way to approach things, but don't ever remind them of that. Okay, real quick before we get into the journal, you know what we're going to do here, don't you? I decided to talk about this every time. You got the D, you got the F here, we got the A. Do you guys know what that means? Just in case somebody stumbled across this video, you didn't start the other videos. This is D for desire. This is the key, according to Johson on YouTube. That's the key from Napoleon's book, Think and Grow Rich. This one here. This is the one that they forgot to tell you about. This is the most important key to this book, is what I'm getting ready to show you. So actually, Johson on YouTube there, he describes it a lot better than I'm doing. But basically, you have desire feeds a little faith or belief. So you have desire and you have a little belief or faith. Okay, they're about the same thing. And then you need a little action, right? That's my problem. I'm not very motivated sometimes. I make $130,000, $140,000 a year. I got lots of property, not a lot of organization, but basically you have a little desire, have a little faith. And the key, according to Vic, is you just got to do a little action. And when you do a little action, the key to this whole thing is that this action, just a little bit of action you do, that I did just 4 days ago, will feed more desire. And if you get a little action, you do a little faith, and you have a little desire, you have a little faith, do a little action. This here's the key. This will feed more desire. The more little things you do, and it'll all of a sudden you'll get a burning desire, a white hot desire. But you've got to do something, and that's something for me. And I'm going to tell you this in every one of my videos, so if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. But, what have you done? Jim Rohn said in his video, hey, I was here 2 times at this. I know I'm being repetitive, but I was here 2 times at this company last year and now today, and only 5% of you bought the book I told you to buy. The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a $6 book on Amazon. You know, it's an easy read, 15, 20 minutes. Have you bought it? That kind of spoke to me, so I bought the book. But that's the little bit of action that I took. And now I'm getting more desire. And I just want to say that's the key, is to do something. The action will feed the desire. So I just wanted to bring that up, tell you that little story, okay? And now let's talk about the journal I did. Well, got started on, okay? Because mine's a little interesting. I can't just there's some really good journal stuff on YouTube, bullet journals, and anyway, I wanted to show you this, okay? This is a Master's Touch sketch pad. It's a 9.5 by 12 inches, $11.99, 50% off yesterday. I got it, just bought it yesterday. I've done 3 videos in a row tonight. So I got it for $6 plus tax. I mean, it's a sketch pad. It doesn't have, these things don't have perforations. They don't tear out. You can make it however you want, okay? It's really, really nice. You'll like it. It's like, and so I'll hold it up here. I will give some more shots here in case someone wants to take a photo of it. I'll put one over like this. Okay? And I might redo this video if this doesn't come out good enough. But I wanted to show you this. And I wanted to talk about it just a little bit. Okay? And this guy here, this Clark Kegley, hi Clark if you ever watch it. He does that thing on YouTube, Refusing to Settle. God, this is his idea, how to lay out a front and back page on a journal. The guy's the journal god. He's 25. My situation, I've got to do one for real estate, but I did pick up some of his same principles. You see this 398. He sets his up for how many days left until you're 90 years old. I'm 56, going to be 57, so I have 12,000 days yet. But what I thought was interesting, because he thought, well, that was a short number. I put down how many months I have till I'm 90 years old. That scares me more, to maybe get a little motivation to do something. So I have 398 months left. I've already lived 681 months, 20,757 days. It's just something to think about, okay? I'm going to start May 2018. I did this all today, okay? I've got the Desire, Faith, Action from Vic Johnson triangle. I've got the triangle down here from Clark that says, remember, I wanted to. Look, we're quoting Clark now. He's 25 years old. We made his video, that one video, but your journal is the best book you'll ever read. That's from Clark Kegley. You know, the danger guy there on YouTube, Refusing to Settle. He's really, really good. Got me inspired to do this journal. I like it. And so then you do this on this side. He's got the triangle here. Basically, this triangle says, what do you remember after 2 weeks? Okay? If you just read it, you'll only remember 10% normally. Hear it, 20%. 30% seeing it. 50%, you'll retain 50% if you hear it. 70% if you discuss it with somebody. 90% by doing. 90% remembered after 2 weeks by doing. So just keep that in mind. And I put some quotes up here. This Simon Sinek, S-I-N-E-K, he's really, really good. He's got a great quote if you're starting a business, and I'm focusing on this because I'm starting a new business. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. I'm like, say what? It says people don't buy what you do. I'm thinking, well, of course they buy what I do. I do this, I'm an electrician, or I'm doing this, I'm cleaning windows. No, they don't buy what you do. They are more inclined to buy it because of why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So I've got the life balance from Clark. You know, it shows that's life for balance, work, play, rest. And these are all quotes here, okay? From different books and different things I like. And, you know, I read John Rohn. I'm doing his 7 strategies to wealth and success. And he's got one rule: income rarely exceeds personal development. Jim Rohn. So I've put down all these quotes, and I've put quotes on this side, okay? Jim Rohn here: your life will only change when you change. Wow. Your life will only change when you change. Accept responsibility. I'm going to read this. Accept responsibility for your own actions, okay? And I had something down here that made me think about, I wrote a quote that I did, disgust is a beautiful thing. It really, really is. I was disgusted the day my landlord, when my kids were, 2 and 1 years old, coming back from California, not having